Is it crazy that I feel like the tactical is quite underpowered? All right, this is an interesting take. Let's see what they're cooking here. Everywhere I go, all I hear is how it's the most OP class. So obviously, maybe it's a bit of a skill issue. I always try and hang back, but range damage just absolutely rips me to pieces. Okay, you know what? I mean, he's not wrong. He's not. The tactical can definitely have an issue with sustainability, just like the assault class. However, the tactical has more ammo, so that the tactical's able to get their contested health back. I mean, yeah, your armor is gonna get shredded in absolute. Maybe that's what they're referring to. I know the scan can be a little bit OP as long as everyone's concentrating on where you're aiming. You are relying heavily on everyone else helping with damage. Wait, with scan? Mark for death? Just use mark for death. Get a nice head start. Put down scan, one-shot something, and then go on to the next target. I feel like a glass cannon, if I stray even 20 foot away from people, I'm getting picked off in mere seconds. What am I missing? Well, you shouldn't be dying that fast. You shouldn't be dying that fast. Maybe play around walls more. What makes this class as OP as everyone seems to say, usually play on difficulty 3, but have ventured into 4 a few times with randoms. You do have to rely heavily on having a good squad with good classes who know what they're doing, otherwise the match is over in minutes. Dude, okay, in difficulty 4? You're talking about ruthless, man? Okay, I don't want to make fun of the difficulty they're playing at, but like the reason why this throws me off is because they're kind of talking about, like, dude, the stakes are really high. If you're playing tactical, you cannot look down the barrel of your gun without losing armor, which is true. But yeah, the difficulty kind of throws me off here. I usually come away doing all right, but boy, I struggle through it a lot of the time. Prestige 1, level 23. Okay. Hey, take your time, to be completely honest. It seems like you're getting used to a new class. All right. So, if we were to take this more seriously, I know this is definitely one of those quote unquote skill issue posts, which they point out at the beginning of this post. So we're not like making fun of anyone here. We're definitely going to take this at face value. I do admit the tactical sustainability is definitely a little underwhelming. The one thing about tactical sustainability that feels fine is just the fact that they can get contested health back pretty quick because they have good weapons. You don't even need physiology. I honestly think the contested health team perk for tactical should get a little bit of a buff or some sort of change. I'm just not too sure how they could do that. I think it would be honestly pretty cool if tactical had a team perk that just everyone entered the game with a stim. I feel like that would be stronger than physiology, wouldn't it? That's okay, whatever. All right. What am I missing? What makes this class as OP as everyone says? Mostly concentrated fire, right? Scan, big bonus damage on scanned targets, and battle focus, mark for death. Even without mark for death, you can get radiating impact, which is also really good. Yeah, I'm not too sure. Dude, I wish they said what weapon they were using. Could you imagine if they were Prestige 1, level 23, and the only weapon they leveled up was the auto bolt rifle, and that's like the only thing they did? Dude, the auto bolt rifle is in such a sad state right now because it did not get any meaningful updates in patch 9. We might try that out soon. All right, so does tactical feel underpowered? You know what? I'm going to kind of meet in the middle in this conversation a bit. I do think the assault class right now is putting out more DPS than tactical. I'm sorry. Okay, don't like, you know, bring out the pitchforks in the comments section or whatever. But if we're talking merely on DPS, I mean, tactical can put up 20k, sure, in range damage, but the assault class could put up like 15,000 in melee damage and then like 8,000 in range damage if they really wanted to, with the same sustainability options. Actually, I'm about to make another hot take argument here. Right now, with Unyielding Oath and the fact that we have, a slower drain of contested health on Assault, I think the Assault class actually might, and not to mention the Assault class also has Fortitude, I think the Assault class right now might have better sustainability options than Tactical. It's kind of true. I mean, the one thing Tactical does have is Resilience, where your stims are a little bit more effective, and not to mention Fortitude, so that actually goes together quite well. But yet, to be completely honest, I mean, I understand this post is kind of funny, but I'm here to make the hot take. I think the assault class might be in a better spot than tactical right now. I think every class is in an A spot. Like, if you were to grade them, it's A one way or the other. It's either A minus or A plus. But the assault class and tactical, this is probably a hot take, and I definitely should have cooked on this one a little bit longer, but I genuinely think, like, a Prestige 4, level 25 assault class, and a Prestige 4 level 25 tactical, I think they're very comparable. And to be honest, I do think the assault class might just be a little bit more strong when it comes to DPS. However, there is the moments where recently I've definitely ran into this. People are with the tactical class. People are shredding terminus enemies with grenade launcher. I've seen that recently. I've seen other people use it. And that is one thing the assault class just can't do. The assault class cannot melt terminus enemies. So, I mean, the tactical definitely has that, right? The tactical can definitely melt down terminus enemies, and that's a good chunk of damage for their, stats. Yeah, I mean, dude, I definitely tried. I definitely tried to make the argument the assault class is in a better spot than tactical. I think they're comparable. But when it comes to scan, grenade launcher, even the stalker bullet rifle, there's a lot of ways the tactical can peak their DPS pretty insane. I think the peak for tactical's DPS is higher than the peak of Assault's DPS, but I think Assault's DPS is more consistent and just a little bit more burst damage. The Assault class has more consistent burst damage DPS, whereas the tactical kind of needs to rely on ammo drops to sustain the grenade launcher. I think this is a pretty interesting conversation, though, so let me jump into the comments to see how people take this, because I think ultimately the tactical isn't underpowered at all, but I do think it's kind of funny comparing it to the Assault class at the moment. If you're getting shredded by range damage, chances are you're simply not dodging enough. You can't just plant your feet and eat all the bullets. You're not heavy or bulwark. You actually need to avoid them. It's most obvious because you're eating venom cannon shots, which most of the time have long and telegraphed windups and are easily dodgeable. I hope this player is not just sitting there eating sniper shots. That's crazy. Another thing is to not be afraid to engage in melee. Tactical has incredible powerful melee capabilities due to battle focus, which marks parried enemy for free and lets you deal huge damage to them. Yep, and also interacts with, mark for death, which is great. So you can get a parry, you can get a gun strike, you can scan them, and then just one shot, headshot, and they're done. Especially useful against extremists. Don't be fooled by his multitude of ranged weapon options. He's much more of a ranged-leaning hybrid class than a true ranged specialist. Oh, yeah, that's actually a fair description, 100%. Yeah, definitely try to take advantage of the melee variant you have. I agree. Tactical is amazing for solo and is great overall, but he is weak defensively compared to other classes. You're right that ranged enemies are his biggest problem, but you just have to dodge and have a plan for how to deal with them. Heavy and Bulwark, the two strongest classes in most people's eyes. Heavy and Bulwark? Dude, where's Sniper? Sniper is in such a good spot right now. It's so insane. But yeah, Heavy and Bulwark are definitely really good too. I agree with either of that. Either of that. Both have great ways to just walk down ranged enemies. So honestly, tactical struggle with ranged enemies you can't really practice for without just playing him. Everyone else has a tool to close the gap or just ignore their damage and walk in. Yeah, I mean, Camo, I guess. Vanguard, yeah, actually now, you know what, you're right. Vanguard, grapple iframes, the assault class, slam iframes, jetpack iframes. Sniper, Camo, iframes. Hey, the Heavy has a shield, Bulwark has a shield and healing. Tactical. Tactical has scan. Scan's really good, but wow, this is actually pretty interesting. This is an interesting way to look at it. Every other class has iframes besides tactical. I guess, I mean, if you want to consider gunstrike iframes, maybe. But, I mean, parrying iframes, actually. Gunstrikes don't get iframes. Parrying does, though. Tactical has the least defensive and armor regeneration also, but makes up for it by always having ammo and having great melee and range damage. Yeah, I agree. Dude, this is a pretty interesting conversation. At first, when I saw this post, I was not too sure how they were going about it. You know what I mean? But I actually really like the community's response to this. The community kind of took it at face value as well. Basically, what I'm doing, where I'm kind of just ignoring the skill issue and seeing how we can help them out. You know what I mean? But yeah, there's obviously they're Prestige 1 level 23. I just think they just need to play the game a little bit more, and I think they'll be fine. I really hope they read some of this advice too, because 100% the original poster definitely is correct about their assessment of survivability. I just don't think they are keeping it in mind how often you need to protect yourself in this game. Like, to be honest, if you're playing tactical and you're kind of annoyed at the range damage you're taking, you should play around corners, you should play around walls more often. Definitely take advantage of your scan. Mark for death, honestly, is super good, especially if you're kind of worried about your range damage being effective. Just, hey, every now and then, if a scan target gets headshot, it's a one-shot for Extremis and Matrix. So I think Mark for Death is honestly a great perk for players who are newer to Tactical. However, that is a capstone perk for Tactical, so they would definitely have to continuously... You know what? That's probably what it is, to be completely honest, now that I think about it. If they're prestiging their Tactical, they're not really taking advantage of Tactical's best perks, right? They're kind of just like, hey, dude, I'm Prestige 2, level 8, why is Tactical not very good? Hey, I'm Prestige 3, level 13, where are my good perks? You know what I mean? They're just not leveled up all the way yet, so they don't even know how good Marked for Death is. They might not even know how good Concentrated Fire is. So there's definitely some things that are missing because I think they're on the grind. But I have to be honest, I think they should just continue grinding, because they can get good at Tactical whenever, but like the grind to actually get to Prestige 4 is something that you have to put the time in for, and eventually they will figure it out. Like, as long as they just continuously put the time in to get to Prestige 4, they're gonna figure it out 100%. Now, on the actual like question of this video, is Tactical underpowered? I don't think that's the case. I do think, however, new players are definitely kind of glossing over the amount of basically how you have to get used to that class. They're kind of glossing over how much time it takes to practice the good and the bad of Tactical. You definitely need to keep track of your armor. You definitely need to make sure that your health is sustained. But yeah, overall, with Tactical, there does seem to be a bit more skill involved than I think other classes have at the moment. I mean, even the Assault class with the most recent buffs, I can kind of just turn my brain off now and just keep slamming, and it's very, very fun. The Assault class is in such a good spot right now. And yeah, the fact that you can just go jump pack, get iframes, get slam, get your cooldown back, jump pack, get iframes, slam, get your cooldown back. It's kind of a similar way to this the Sniper and Squad Renewal. Squad Renewal will also be very good for Tactical and Assault. So I think this is an interesting conversation. For the most part, though, everyone in the comments are pretty much on the same page. They all think Tactical is a S tier damage class, but when it comes to sustainability, you definitely need to be a little bit more careful. But yeah, let me know in the comments how you guys feel about this. Do you think Tactical is starting to fall behind? I really hope not. But yeah, to be completely honest, when it comes to like operations, Bulwark, Heavy, Sniper, that's a hard team to stop right there, man. Hard team to stop right there. People really underestimate Sniper's support capabilities, man. I've been getting fast reses in Absolute and in Siege mode. They've been very, very helpful to pick up your teammates faster. But yeah, of course, everyone never gets... Good players never get damaged in this game, so anything that heals you is actually a bad perk. You know what? Hold on. Now that we're on that subject, as I'm doing the outro here, it's pretty funny that Bonds of Brotherhood, people like judge Bonds of Brotherhood. They're like, oh, you shouldn't go down. But then where's that same energy for Unmatched Zeal, right? Oh, you shouldn't be damaged at all. How about that? It's silly. I'm just kidding, but I do find that line of thinking pretty hilarious. But yeah, let me know in the comments how you guys feel about Tactical. Let me know in the comments how you guys feel about this, and thanks for watching.